Around the world, there are major construction projects meant to be used by millions but remain practically empty. The cost of these megaprojects runs into billions of dollars and still they're abandoned. What are these megaprojects and why were they abandoned? That's exactly what we'll be sharing in today's video. You're not going to believe what happened to one of Venezuela's tallest skyscrapers. From the Hashima Island in Japan to the Ryugyong Hotel in North Korea, here are the most insane abandoned megaprojects. Let's start with number 6, Hashima Island, Japan. If you saw the James Bond film Skyfall, you were probably wowed by Javier Bardem's performance as Raul Silva, the villain. He's a horrible guy. And his evil island hideaway appears to be a good fit for him, a crumbling heap of abandoned buildings in the middle of the ocean. You may have thought this island lair was just a studio effect, but it actually exists. The island of Hashima, also known as Battleship Island, is located 9 miles off the coast of Japan in the East China Sea. 1880s, coal was discovered on the seafloor beneath the island. The Mitsubishi firm, which was mining the coal at the time, used to transport miners from Nagasaki to the labor site. The corporation then determined that it would be easier to build housing on Hashima for workers and their families, and the construction of massive multi-story concrete towers began. Schools, bathhouses, temples, restaurants, markets, and even a cemetery were built on a football field's worth of land. It was once regarded as the most densely populated place on Earth. However, when the coal ran out in 1974, the Mitsubishi company informed the residents that they would be able to find work on the mainland on a first-come, first-served basis. That explains why so many people fled quickly, with coffee cups left on the tables and bicycles leaning up against the walls. Bond actor Daniel Craig came across the island a few years ago and offered it as a site for the film. Hashima is only seen from the outside in Skyfall. The island sequences were actually filmed in a studio. This is because Japanese authorities forbid anyone from entering the island. Ashima has recently gained popularity as a gruesome tourist destination, and a boardwalk has been erected around half of the island. But that's about the only way to get close. Number 5, the world's biggest shopping mall. Where do you think you can find the world's largest mall? In 2005, the new South China Mall opened in Dongguan, China. The mall has a total area of 5 million square feet and can hold up to 2,350 businesses, making it the world's largest shopping center in terms of leasable space. That, just for comparison, is more than twice the size of the United States' biggest shopping center, the Mall of America. There are hundreds of palm trees, a replica of the Arc de Triomphe, a massive Egyptian sphinx, fountains, and even large canals with gondolas in the outdoor plaza. The mall is also equipped with an amusement park and an IMAX theater. The only issue is that it's mostly empty. Despite the extravagant architecture and great intentions, only a few of the stores are open. Visiting the new South China Mall is like walking through a ghost mall with destroyed shops, dusty corridors, and escalators draped in soiled sheets. Garbage is piling up along the walls, paint is peeling off the walls, and the business signs and advertisements have faded. At the same time, the 1,814-foot roller coaster roars above. Employees at the mall's interior amusement park lie half asleep over counters or pass the time conversing with one another. The new South China Mall is a prime example of building a great product in the wrong market. Most of the 8 million residents of Dongguan are migrant workers without a ton of disposable income, making it difficult to support this type of high-end shopping. Number 4, Singzi Pod House, Taiwan. A unique structure known as the Singzi Pod Village used to be located along a short stretch of beach in northern Taiwan. The buildings were popularly called the UFO houses because of their otherworldly architecture. The bizarre-looking space village was built for the wealthy city dwellers who wanted to get away from the city on the weekends. Locals and tourists alike are baffled by this abandoned, futuristic, luxury holiday destination. Many stories are circulating about the events that led to its abandonment, but no one seems to know exactly why or how the place fell into such disrepair. The most prevalent version of its eventual demise is that a series of strange accidents halted all development, resulting in several deaths. Locals believe the village is haunted. Despite an internet appeal to save one of the structures as a museum, the houses were set to be demolished in late 2008. On December 29, 2008, demolition work on the site began, with plans to turn it into a new tourist attraction. By 2010, all of the UFO-shaped dwellings had been razed, and the land is being transformed into a commercial coastal resort and water park. Number 3, the world's largest abandoned park, China. The ruins of Wonderland, a half-built amusement park near a highway in Shenzhen Village, China, some 20 miles northeast of central Beijing, sits near a roadway, surrounded by residences and cornfields. Construction of the park, which developers boasted would be Asia's greatest amusement park, came to a halt in 1998 due to price issues with the local government and farmers. In 2008, developers attempted but failed to continue construction. Local youngsters and a few photographers are drawn to the abandoned structures, which are marked with signs warning them to advance at their own risk. Would you explore this abandoned amusement park? I don't think I would. Number 2. Ryugyong, North Korea. North Korea aspired to improve its image in the mid-1980s by creating something big, something that would be known around the world. North Koreans drew up designs for a 105-story hotel, which would have been the world's largest, as an attempt to attract Western investors. Casinos, nightclubs, and high-end dining establishments were all included in the design. The cost was expected to be around $230 million. Work on the hotel began in 1987 and was supposed to finish in time for the 13th World Festival of Youth and Students in 1989. Unfortunately, developers ran into practically every conceivable roadblock. By 1992, the cost had risen to almost $750 million, or 2% of North Korea's total GDP, due to various delays and issues. The skyscraper had reached its full architectural height, but due to a bankrupt government and a lack of foreign investors, the project was abandoned before it could be completed. If the hotel had been completed as intended, it would have been the world's tallest tower and the world's 7th tallest building. It wasn't until 2009 that another hotel exceeded the unfinished Rayong's planned height. Number 1. Centro, financiero, con finanzas, Venezuela. To those uninformed, the Centro Financiero appears to be like any other tower under construction. It stands 45 floors tall in the financial district of Venezuela's capital, Caracas, and is the 6th largest structure in Latin America. Its gleaming glass facade, which was designed for national and international businesses to operate, reflects the sun, projecting wealth and economic prowess. However, on the inside, there is an entirely different reality. While the Torre David, named after its primary investor, David Brillenborough, appears to be the city's newest high-rise, it is actually a vertical slum, home to over 700 people. The tower's construction began in 1990, but following the death of Brillenborough in 1993 and the Venezuelan's banking crisis a year later, it came to a halt. It sat empty and incomplete, an emblem of financial failure. Ironically, it was supposed to embody Venezuela's unstoppable petro-fueled economic growth. The Centro Financiero is a remarkable example of how space can be a reappropriation of space in an urban context. It is still a shell, a skeletal structure whose bare structural bones presented a unique chance for a fearless group of settlers, families going through social and economic hardship, to seek a new life for themselves in this tower in October 2007. We now know why these insane megaprojects were abandoned. Some were because of financial constraints, like the Ryugyong Hotel, while others were not fully utilized, like the world's biggest mall in China. Make sure you check out the worst megaproject disasters of all time.